Hello, hello. Good evening. Welcome to Mo's. I am Mo's. Indeed. Good evening, everybody. I know nobody's there watching this live. Just pass here very quick to greet everybody and say hi to the audience, the subscribers, and you also. Anyway, how crazy Nyabohanse became, that is something quite interesting to talk about. That I'll be very brief today in this live, talk about Nyabohanse's story. I've been watching a couple of content, African content, especially for Nyabohanse. But unfortunately, the content come from Nyabohanse has changed so radically and to a point where you start asking yourself, what's going on here? It's something else. Yeah, there is something else and something suspicious. This is no longer content. This is no longer telenovela or people try to entertain each other. This is becoming a very personal affair and where intrigue, lies, and also people that manage to understand how YouTube works to scam. Yeah, indeed, there is sexual predators out there, there is maniacs, there is all kind of human beings. But there is something here that I can't figure out, or to be honest, I don't see it. If I'm blind, please highlight, leave comments down there below, and come over and say, hey, look, this is the truth, this is the way. This is not the way that Africans are in the communities or Africans do for living or Africans communities behave. Yes, quite something quite interesting. And then is when you pour money in an African community or help support, this is what the community comes back to you. Never, never, I don't remember once, even in my villages in Mozambique, where I come from, or any other place I've been in South Africa, Lesotho, and Swaziland. I remember Kururameni in Swaziland, we've done a project for disabled people. And we end up with the same problems I'm seeing here, problems like these ones of PASI, where sexual harassment, sexual demanding, whatever, people fell apart, relationships, and so forth. I have been in this, I've been seeing in many communities, but what's happening in Nyamboans is quite interesting to reflect on, not only to reflect on, but think a little bit deeper. What you as a subscriber or you as a donor, whatever you do, the consequences and how what you are trying to influence change in this community. If it goes, it will be positive and constructive. But on the end of the day, by watching all these videos from left to right, it seems like the people in their mind they have one target is to bend Ayamara to death, to destroy his reputation, to annihilate him and take him out of the picture. But that is the point. If you take him out of the picture, if you destroy him, is the hashtag that you sell with your product, with your lies, with your whatever story is true not that it will be stuck, will be in the shelf, rotten. And what make me laugh is when the people selling the story to you, the audience, to me, or to anybody, is how they dramatize, how they don't consider, they don't value the other side of the story. They give just, it's like the world end up and this happening and this is this. I'm quite curious how this woman that yesterday was just nothing. He didn't have a cent to leave or to do anything, even to take their children to school. And all of a sudden appear with $9,000 and then so many stories. He becomes so powerful. He have a voice and use that platform to come out on painting somebody that's nothing to have to do with what's happened between her and whatever, and blame that person for everything that goes wrong. It is amazing. But what is not amazing is the impact they have for themselves. Because this is short. Sorry, really apologize. This is very short. And this will not be the case of day by day of their lives. This will be a story that will transition to another story, and then will be another story, and then will be another story, and people will forget it. Like I saw somebody try to bring alive Alex story, and again failed to bring that story back. But let me bring you the story back of Alex. Is that the way that person wrote the story of Alex, he forget himself what Alex has said himself. And many of you forgot it about. Many of you wrote off Alex off. And Alex, I realized his life cannot depend on you too. And this is what is interesting here. Is when you're so angry, desperate, out of your mind, you go out there and start blast everything and everyone without realizing is your reputation that becomes questionable. Or to be honest, I had my questions, I have my worries and everything. And that's why I step aside and say, what is this? This is the same happening in any other village in Africa. These Africans, they've been given something to eat. They are gonna fight it all the way until die just for just a small grain of rice. Yeah, it's true. I've been experiment that. I have experimented that myself. What I'm seeing in these, well, I can say this big mess, this pot full of ugali flying all left and right. Because ugali, when you're cooking and is not too well consistent, it starts flying from the pot left, right, whatever. This is what we see here in Nyabohanse. But is these people in Nyabohanse realizing this mess they are creating will get penalized themselves? Well, it's possible. In any society, there is conflict. In any society, people fight for left or right, whatever. There's good people, bad people. There's people just pretending. There's people they associate with yourself and make look like these are very good individuals, but they have their own agendas. This is worldwide known. But in the case of Nyabohanse, is not, ladies and gentlemen. In the case of Nyabohanse, is people that have find a tool and they think that tool they will make themselves rich millionaires by tainting other people's lives. But in the meantime, they don't realize there is a generation follow them up and watch them doing this whole drama on the cameras, yeah, this and that. That will come after them. And then they will remember these moments and they will say, I don't want to be. And then they fight with that guy there. Yeah, he's my father, but I don't want to have nothing to do with him because what is been said before, I don't know, I don't care, I don't give a damn. This is going to happen here. These guys, they start like single people. All of a sudden, they have girlfriends, building houses, building families. Some they had kids. They didn't afford to sustain their families. And this thing came. Based on this, they find supports and they find this. But did the person bring this to the village done right? Yes, there is where the problem. Once again, here, let's talk about him because this is going crazy. How crazy became? Let's blame him. Simple. Ayamara made a huge mistake. I've done a videos here and then I explain here to people. He never should tell the community. He should never empower people in his own community. He should never say anything, or he should try to show something, one or two, and then that is the rest. Go and find yourself and discover yourself. But as human beings, we all have weakness, and that weakness brought in this old drama. This is why Nyambo is going crazy. But when it comes to Mogezi, it comes to Ginto, comes to Ernest, Max One, Fellow the Boy, and so forth, those are victims of digital era. Those are not people there doing YouTube or doing content creation because there is a need for them. No, those that do content created because they're what's called it copycat pussycats. The pussycats. That is really that word. Really, you heard me say. Those are pussycats. People they can't stand somewhere and see somebody's life improve. Look, look to Sage to Traveler, and look Paulo K. Two brothers with a different standing. And then you ask yourself, these are two brothers with different points and different approaches, but they should not team up for the God's sake, doing well, like Major K and Nasto. They stood together, even they split, they're still friends and they keep other relation Major K had with this sister of Mayo and then fell apart, but still stand as a friends, people they still talk. Well, so here is the problem. Many of you don't understand. Marwa creates tension. Marwa never is straightforward with his own people. Marwa is not able to communicate with people and negotiate terms and conditions, what this means and how they're going to do. This is the craziest part of this because it didn't set ever, in any time, in any moment, boundaries. And here is the problem that Lucy is going to have now when it goes back to the village. Because the boundaries is the child. And Mara now is re-educated himself in Argentina. How have to live in a perimeter. That free spirit that he had, he can do this, he can go there, is over. Gone. He have to readapt himself, he have to recreate himself, he have to find now him like a presidential father, a father figure that have to be there for the critical moment, not a father that will be flying somewhere and not leave milk, bread at home. That always is said. I do remember very well this thing of Ayamara say he wants the house running himself. There is no such thing. That is illusion. That is a, that is a concept of an individual that not have experience live by his own, but has created a monster himself, and then that monster that is created it doesn't realize need to be managed, but managed in a such way everything works synchronized. There is a budget. So this is becoming pain now. The good thing here is is planning now the overheads of his future when he goes back home. He start to realize he need not do only content creation. He need to create partners, create business. He have to become a different role model in his society. And there is where Nyabohanse are gonna lose. There is where the Nyabohanse's people they're gonna feel the pain. Because we see he as he's in Argentina, we see him try to break the molds of that perimeter where he's a parent. But sometimes you walk out and go and try to do content on the road and the place is playing this. You start to realize you got a moment where he's trying to reflect from where I'm going. And this commitment I have, how much I have to carry my shoulders. And this is quite interesting, especially the relationship he's having with his father-in-law and the patience that his father-in-law have with him. His father-in-law be there and try communicate and all that. The family showing. He's seeing this family affair that they never saw in his village. How the values of family works in Argentina, how the Argentinians behave themselves. And that is what is learning. And the villagers are not in that. The villagers are just bang, 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 banging until real when they don't have nothing, and then they're going around the clock and say, okay, we missed this point here. Again, let's go in that point. Oh, we missed that point. While him is walking towards something better. Believe me, Ayamaro is walking to something better. And this is going to be a serious case. All those cutty copy and paste, cut and paste in the village style. People they want to have houses, they think the donors they'll do this. The donors they had enough. The donors are no longer interested in this unsustainable content creation, except those who have created friendships and they're working in their favor. We see Pasi doing what she's doing and people walking away. But we see also people throwing to Pasi so much without realize the impact of that so much is driving her out of her mind. The damage there is not only past, is past become a victim of something else. That is where people they don't realize the of me successful seduction or not, there will be a man out there that will come to her, they will create a greater damage to her. And she will regret and she will go back to the same situation she was in the beginning. That's what's going to happen to Percy. I'm in Africa. I can talk about my aunties. I can talk about my nieces. They had same story. And then becomes an uncontrollable situation where age start come. They're tired. They can't no more have a face. There is no way of changing their face. There is no way they can sell the story and people lose interest. And Mara will not. Why? Because Marwa will not come to the village and cross his hands. Marwa see the world. Marwa see Lord. Marwa's created a network. Marwa has created a world of friends. And Marwa have hands everywhere ready to help him. Why? Because this guy, his content is not about an individual. It's not about that guy down the road. No, it's about where he is, time and moment. If he's in Jamaica, if he's in an aeroplane, or if he's in his compound, it's a story about himself, his family, his friends, and his world. Marwa now and never is regretting big time for all these shout outs, is regretting for all these problems that are coming, petty problems. Look, a very simple thing to call Percy and say, I'm very sorry about this story, whatever happened to you. I'm solidar with you. I'm very sorry I didn't knew this happening. What that shows you, be kind and felt that was not right. You blame him for something it should not happen. Those people they show a good intention, but that good intention never anybody here thought about could happen. She will go back to the river. Indeed, Peter Belize said, believe she will go back to the river. Indeed. And that's gonna be so sad, so sad. She does not even realize how Ginto and Mugezi are taking advantage of her. She's not having the time to reflect. Yet the problem is she reflects herself. I wish you could watch this video and say, oh, I should have stopped. But she thought by going out and voice out the way she voices, she was right. Well, I'm not going to judge. If she thought that was right, to come condemn all that the way she done and blame it, she screw up. Because I will don't want somebody come to my house with a problem. When I try to end my hand, he screw me. And many people are forgetting. She was nothing. Ayamara helped her 2 times. Ayamara took money that did not belong to her in any way, in any point, in any moment. His own money that he walked the world, he made it. None of Nyabohanse people can come here and say, no, that was passive money, or that was the money that Ayamara was, or the husband. No. Was his free will. and try to empower, and she failed. And second time, and she failed. And the third time, that is now, she's failing big time, flat. And that is gonna reflect on those kids. Now is the bonanza time for few cents. But bonanza, what in South Africa they call mahala, does not last. What is free never lasts. Just stays there for 2, 3 days and then gone. And there is where the problem here in this crazy Nyabohanse story becomes a world of madness. This is what you don't ask yourself. Where is Ernest? Ernest came and put the fire on everybody, but he forgot. It depends on certain people to live and survive. And now, lies, they don't pay. Lies, they don't make you rich. You see, an example, I am Carol, came to the village, gave all those hygienic stuff. How long they gonna last? They're gonna last 2, 3 weeks. And then these women, they need more. Who else is gonna go give them more? That wasn't a strategy to make those women come with gossip to feed herself. That wasn't a strategy. Create gossip and feed you with gossip. And you come and audience say, oh God, Lord, sorry. Let me open my purse and dish out something. And this is the problem. How this village came crazy. This is how fellow the boy is an handicapped man now. I'm not say physical, but mentally. This is how you look to the content of Nasto, you start to ask what else left for him. You look to Mayugno, tried to reinvent himself, at least got out the village and start work the world and start travel, start discover. At least there is something there. But nevertheless, we also have to turn this conversation and say, okay, well, what's happening there inside IMR family? Also, there is disasters. What they have to offer, David does not have offer nothing. But is on their side, on the advantage side. Why? Because he minds his own business. He minds his own way. He does his own thing. He has his own audience. He knows where he go to beg and fed himself. But when you come to the big audience, like what we see with these guys, especially this Quinto, I ask myself, I have a lot of questions for Quinto. First of all, why Quinto does not do content in a very decent place, sit, organize himself, how much he has made. What does not revamp himself? Why he needs to have this anger? Why he don't come sit decently and have a true conversation, invite people, have a live streams and interact, make people understand his judgment of everything what's going on. So it shows you there is a chain of reaction or the domino effect here. We think they're crumbling, but nobody's realizing they're crumbling. They're failing. This is a guy that had the fishery business. Fish is a big business, big money in Africa. So if you have time to do YouTube the way you do, so it means your business of fishing, your partners and everything are failing because of egomania. This is the problem how that village became crazy because everybody smell the name YouTube as money, but they don't realize that the name YouTube there is risks. It requires a lot of thinking and manipulating to be rewarded. Anyway, that was me for today. I hope you have like 19 people watch it. I really appreciate it. Please leave a like. If you're new, please the same routine, subscribe. I come here time to time, give you a feedback, my point of view, analysis. Yeah. I'm not going to talk about the lazy gang. It's waste our time. I'm going to talk to you about something else. But this content here that I'm talking about, you need to be a very open wise, mind wise. If you don't open your mind wise, you're hurting yourself psychologically. You start to become have your own problem because you can, because that's what they call the egomania. You start to go to these people and say, do this, do that, do that. Don't do it. Let them drive themselves crazy to the edge. Is when things get much better. Is when you, the viewer, you the subscriber, start to realize where the tendency of the events end. Anyway, thank you for being here, for watching. I am Moss, always pass here and leave my point of view analysis. But now I go to conclusion. Everything that's happening in that village without IMR is nothing. They need to tag that name to have a cent to buy bread. And that is great. Shows that IMR is the key of their lives. There is nothing else. They can say anything, they can point any figure, but the key of their lives is IMR. And IMR every day is breaking records, is breaking taboos, is making his life better and better and better. That those in the village can't compare with him. So now Maisha has arrived. What else? Next. Bye bye.